Well, howdy and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Today's Bread. Now, this week's discussion on the series Messages on the Old Testament, it's redemption and the law. Now, today's portion, though, is God's presence with his people. Our scripture reference is Exodus chapter 13, verses 20 through 22, and also Numbers chapter 9, verse 15, 16, 21, and 22. Now, Israel's release from slavery was only the beginning of their new life. Having been freed from bondage, they now began to make their way toward Canaan, the land God had promised to them. But their trip was not one they made alone. God led them on their journey. You see that in Exodus chapter 13, verses 17 and 18. And it pictures God leading Israel, choosing the route that was best for them. Now, verse 20 shows them camping along the wilderness's edge, but their campsites and the route they took were not the product of their own decisions. God's presence accompanied them in the form of a cloud leading them by day, which became a column of fire each night that provided light for them. The cloud and fire remained in front of the people, providing them guidance during their journey. You see it in verses 21 and 22. Now, God's presence was not a temporary occurrence. The cloud and fire continued to appear over the tabernacle, Israel's portable house of worship. You see it in Numbers 9, 15, and 16. Whenever the cloud lifted from the tabernacle, it signaled the Israelites to move on. Verse 21. But for whatever time it remained over the tabernacle, Israel remained camped at that site. Verse 22. Just as Israel entered into a new life beyond their slavery, people who experience redemption through Christ enter into a whole new life as well. See that in 2 Corinthians 5:17. Now, this includes experiences reflected in Israel's exodus. Now, while believers do not see a cloudy pillar each day, we can enjoy continual fellowship with Christ each and every day. See that Matthew 28:20 and also Hebrews 13:5. He offers his wisdom to those who need guidance and direction. James 1:5. To believers who seek his leading. Now, plus, believers have the Spirit of God living within us to lead us. See that in Romans 8:13 and 14. What Israel experienced in her liberation pictures beautifully what Christ provides for the redeemed today. Thank you, and I pray that you've enjoyed today's edition of Fresh Daily Bread. I pray that these videos, in fact, all of our posts, are a blessing in your life. Now, Wednesday's prayer focus is for evangelism. Pray for boldness to share the gospel using your personal testimony to reach those who need Jesus. Now, remember, Jesus is coming back and coming back soon. Here's Wednesday's blessing. I bless you with understanding deep in your heart that God will always provide a safe place for you. It's called a place of refuge.